Dystopia warning. Yeah, I'm back. I had a lovely little breakdown, hence the hair. Shut up. I hope you appreciate that I've dressed as a choir boy to commemorate the season. You know, the pretend Sky Daddy birthday. I was going to comment on the Justin Welby situation, you know, the Archbishop of Canterbury. But people are so litigious nowadays, he'd probably sue me for making the jokes that I want to make about it. Because no one loves free speech, like the church. Mind you, if I'm dressed as a choir boy, while saying what I want to say, he'd just ignore the allegations, wouldn't he? Huh? It's been a year, hasn't it? Unfortunately, my theory about even-numbered years was accurate. And I was going to do a review of 2024, yeah. You know, make you relive it. But it would mostly consist of me, essentially, pointing at a skip full of shit that's on fire for about 10 minutes. And if you think 2025 is going to be any better, nobody is prepared for what another Trump term's going to bring. Nobody. Such hell. Something to look forward to, isn't it? Now, I knew that I'd get back into the swing of things when it comes to recording, when something got on my tits enough. Saw this article, didn't I? And frankly, there's not enough expletives in the world that can express how I'm feeling about it. Labour's attitude broadly towards disinformation and holding social media companies to account is dithering, ineffective, and enraging. It's like watching your nan try and work an iPhone. Frustratingly slow and clueless. We need action on disinformation and donations, like 10 years ago. They're sitting there dithering and delaying, which is not just a failure to protect our democracy from foreign infiltrators and interference, but them simultaneously ruining their own chances of re-election. We all know why the Tories didn't do it, don't we? Up to their balls, taking backhanders and blowies from people that were linked to Putin, strongly linked to Putin, his former cabinet members. And instead of taking a firm line on this, what's Labour doing? Rouging their cheeks, putting on their wonder bra, and courting the tabloids. Embarrassing on multiple levels, but not least because print media is dead. The tabloids are taking their cues from social media now. They're irrelevant. So what have they said about it? They fear that any moves to curb potential cash from the tech titan, otherwise known as Ketamine Karen, could backfire and play into Reform UK's hands. Let me get this straight, right? Them stopping that puffy-faced, half-melted waxwork, who is mental and minted, bad combination, from giving vast sums of money, like hundreds of millions of pounds, to Trump's lapdog in the UK, Farage, will backfire. What the fuck do you think will happen if they do get the money? The problem with Labour is they're too apologetic about their policies. The good policies, you know, like taxing the ultra-rich, putting VAT on private schools, stopping non-doms, you know, this is all stuff that should have been done long ago. And they're like, oh, sorry, we're gonna, oh, yeah, sorry. No, be proud of those policies. Tax the rich until the pips squeak. Give the finger to the ultra-rich millionaire landowners that are complaining about paying less inheritance tax than the rest of us. But do not roll over and die and let all of us suffer the consequences of failing to stop Musk from funding Farage. A Labour source said, we'll beat reform by defeating their arguments, rather than changing the rules to stop them getting money from Elon Musk. Are you high? You can't reason with Farage or any of his supporters because they are radicalised. And how? Via millions of pounds being pumped in from overseas, mostly, overseas companies, the utilisation of bot farms and other online agitators to pull off a psyop that interferes with our elections. That's what we're up against. Millions of people every day, the longer that this goes on, being radicalised online. Yeah, on Elon Musk's own platform, in which there's no free speech. Hard right, alt-right, fascist propaganda is spread, amplified, repeated, day in, day out. An exponential rise in hate speech. It was used to promote and organise Race riots in Britain. I was talking to my friend Graham the other day, who runs Politics Social, brilliant channel, you should check it out. And the first thing that people leap to with the radicalised is that they are stupid. Many are, don't get me wrong. But the overwhelming aspect is that they are lazy. It's 2024, fact checks can be completed within seconds. It's not like the 70s where, you have to pop down to the library. You can instantly determine that that racist meme that you've just shared features Brighton Pavilion and not a mosque. But I'll go one step further than just calling them lazy. They are willing participants in this. The people that gobble up the nonsense spouted by Trump, Farage, Musk, Tate. They're not just passively being conned, they're willingly being conned. Because it's so much easier than thinking for yourself, isn't it? And then that links into the whole nationalism aspect, where people assign their identity to a flag and a nationality because they're too lacking in creativity. Now, in this piece, they express that there are concerns at the heart of government that a hurried attempt to introduce rules targeting Musk could backfire and hand Farage the chance to claim Reform UK was being sabotaged by the establishment. He is the fucking establishment. City boy makes more in a month than most of his acolytes could dream to make of in a year. Went to private school, mates with hedge funders who all cashed in enormously as the result of the disastrous Brexit referendum rolled in. We all know what he's doing. He's cashing in on the conditions that he created. He was essentially the one that was influencing the last, 8 years of a Tory government. He was one of the key figures behind Vote Leave, if not the key figure. He's created conditions through his influence, unelected until recently, that have made us poorer, that have undermined our democracy, and now he's scooping up all the people affected by that and claiming to be the answer to it. It's a con, which is visible to people that have critical thinking skills, but he doesn't target people that think critically. He doesn't target areas that are affluent or have high educational outcomes. He buckles under even the most basic questioning. If your kink is being a pay pig for a rich, privately educated toad beast, I'm not going to shame you. All I'm going to say is maybe don't base your vote on it. Public trust in politics is exceptionally low, and failing to do anything about that will create the conditions in which people like Farage prospers, whilst drowning in the money that he takes in donations from immigrants, whilst happily importing a right-wing Republican campaign of disinformation, conspiracy, targeting the poor, the disenfranchised, that are living in those conditions because people created them whilst profiting. They refer to the mainstream media and they say, you believe anything the papers say, or Sky News say, or BBC says? You mean the people that uncritically, repeatedly platform Farage? The people without whom anyone would even know that Farage exists, you mean? They made him, and they'll keep relentlessly featuring him until he's sold every single last magic bean to the people that he deems too thick and poor to realise they're being conned by selling bigotry to them. Even when you tell them that he, in his own words, plainly said that he wants to sell off our NHS and replace it with a private healthcare system, they find a way to defend it because immigrants are killing people, apparently. Wait until they hear about all the rich old Tories who killed hundreds of thousands of people with austerity and COVID. Oh wait, they know about that. Why are they worried about 1 or 2 immigrants going rogue then? Oh right, yeah, because they're brown, innit? They never have an answer for that, because Farage hasn't given them one. Well, in a way, Farage has given us all one, hasn't he? Whether we like it or not. It's the hypocrisy that pisses me off the most. Acting like having a milkshake thrown over you is the worst possible thing that could ever happen. Then saying that your own MP, James McMurdoch, who repeatedly kicked his girlfriend and was jailed, something they knew about when standing him, but not something that most of the public knew about. That apparently deserves Christian forgiveness. I personally think that she wasted an opportunity here, because if it was me, I'd have thrown piss. The problem is that Taylor Grift is chased around by the media like he's a global pop star. Reform's entire election campaign relied on foreign bot farms, targeting millions of people, because he can't win without conning people. So imagine what will happen. This guy is already receiving foreign support when it comes to his campaigns, in the form of online psyops, okay? He's got all the tabloid media on his side. He's got the Telegraph writing articles like this. He's got Labour bending over and accepting it. And now he's going to end up with millions of pounds from Ketamine Karen to take what we've already seen in terms of massively mind-fucking people to an entirely new level. Because that's how it works in America, and that's usually how it works here too. The party with the most amount of money inevitably wins. And then the media will sit there and they'll go, oh, wonder how that happened. Because they were utilising Farage all along for clicks, regardless of the impact that it has on our democracy. Which is kind of like, I don't know, shit all over your mum's face and wondering why your mum's covered in shit, isn't it? I would strongly advise people to stop using Twitter. It's probably never going to be what it was. Because as Carol Cadwallader essentially said recently, whatever you put online is going to be used against you. They know deeply intimate things about you, about all of us. And they're going to use that to their advantage. The Broligarchy is just beginning. Resistance is probably largely futile. But I would personally rather go out swinging than be a willing lapdog for C units like that. Oh, he's a genius and an inventor. No, he's not. He's a weird South African Nepo baby. Everything he makes breaks. All we can hope for at this point is what somebody said the other day, which is just hoping that he has the same ketamine dealer as Matthew Perry. Until next time, I'm off to go scream into a box of Quality Street.